Hey, what's up, bookworms? We are back with another Talk About Nothing. You guys know that Spider-Man meme where you see Spider-Man point at the other Spider-Man? I kind of feel like that's how this relationship's gone here because so many people, before I really discovered John's channel, were telling me, if you ever checked out Rammel Broadcasting, I think you guys might have actually been like split from the same womb or something because you guys' channel and your thoughts and your opinions are almost exactly the same. And then when I looked it up, I said, yeah, we do feel the same about a lot of things. So, John, welcome to the channel. I feel like I already know you.
Well, thank you, thank you. I'm not so sure they're all the same, though. I think
We'll talk about that one big elephant in the room. I think
there's at least one. Yeah.
I think if we agreed on everything, though, then I feel like they could just eliminate one of us. And I don't want anybody to do that.
That wouldn't be any fun. And I think I would be the first to go. I mean, you've been here longer and far bigger than I am.
And, some people you're growing really fast, though. I feel like your channel is really starting to pick up some speed, isn't it?
It grew a lot last year. It slowed down a little bit this year. I blew up last year. I don't know what happened last year. I just kind of went from nothing. I think you do a lot of horror
content, and around October, if you do a lot of horror content, it'll get picked up by the algo. That seems to be the experience I'm having.
I did a top 10 horror. Actually, the horror video blew up my channel, but yeah. The funny thing is I did the top 10 horror video in October and it blew up in like April. So it was like, it was like up for 6 months and it went from like 2,000 views to like 80,000 views in like a month. I was like, what is going on? This is insane.
I've had something like that where it won't do nothing really. And then out of nowhere, I'll just be like, this has got like 50,000 views now. Like, how did that happen? Right. Those are the good ones. Those are the good ones. It's nice. It's rare. These days, I feel like everybody's kind of struggling now. It seems like everybody's complaining about the same thing. So, hey, you do this because you love it. We're not doing it to, like I said, I don't think it'd be very smart if you're doing this to make a lot of money.
No.
I can't speak for everybody, guys, but this is not quit your job money.
Oh my God, no.
Look, for me, it's so fun to have someone else on who likes horror as much as I do because I feel like even though both of us had very successful top 10 horror videos, I don't feel like horror really does well with my audience. It's really strange. But every October, you can see that video. You can go to the analytics and see every October it leads back up again. I feel like that's the only genre where it'll do that because there is no like fantasy month. There is no sci-fi month. I mean, some people argue sci-fi September, but I feel like in October, everybody's ready for a little scare.
Yeah.
And they start looking for these things. So you think about updating your list at all? Has it changed at all?
Yes. This year I'm redoing the top 10 horror list this year. I didn't do it last. I always say when I do like my top 10 videos, these are kind of like my top 10 for right now. And the goal is to update them in the future as I read more things and better things. And last year I just didn't have anything to update. And this year I've got a couple new additions, some pretty heavy hitters that I really want to get on the list. So I'm gonna redo that again this October.
You got some good crossover in like my first top 10 horror video and yours. That's the one that's the biggest one on your channel. We had a lot of crossover there. You don't have the dumb rule that I have where I'm like, okay, only one per author. So you were actually okay to have multiple Stephen King, but I think we both had Ringu on there.
Yeah.
I think we both had Color Out of Space.
Yes.
So
you had Color Out of Space on yours?
I had Color Out of Space.
I don't remember that.
I've done two of them, but the first one from back in like 2020 or 2021, I think that was the one where I did Color Out of Space.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of broke the rules for that one. Like it felt weird to put a short story on a top 10 greatest horror books list, but you know what? I didn't care. It was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, I can't just say, hey, it's the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft. That's my favorite.
Right. Yeah. That's still probably my favorite. I like At the Mountains of Madness pretty good too, or quite a bit. But
two
Color Out of
bangers
Space,
for sure.
That was special.
Color Out of Space for me is just there's so many things I feel like they've kind of borrowed from it. Be like Lost or like Tommy Knocker or something like that. There's so many things I feel like they've kind of stole that idea of hey, something from outer space crashes and it makes everything go kind of haywire. You want to talk about body horror stories, man? That's an all-timer right there.
Yeah, and it was about when I was reading that, and that was my first H.P. Lovecraft story I ever read.
Oh, nice.
And I was reading, and it was about the time people start getting locked in the attic that I was like, this is great. This is really special. I like this a lot.
Did you see the movie with Nicolas Cage?
No, I didn't. I read
it's actually quite good, believe it or not. They tried to, you could tell they were trying to set up like a Lovecraft universe, and that didn't go over well. But everything else about the movie was really freaky.
he's hit or miss. He can do some real schlock, but then he just like puts out these roles that are amazing.
Well, that's what I said when I talked about it when that movie came out. I was like, I feel like he's zany enough to kind of pull off that role. So it actually worked really well. And I also learned that the color out of space is just pink. Like
well, I mean, in that movie, it is. It's indescribable in the book, you know. But
I hope that they can make that at the Mountains of Madness movie one day. But Guillermo del Toro wanted to make it. But the studio like demanded he put a love story into it, and he was like, "That's not Lovecraft." So he just said, "I would rather not make it than make it bad." So I feel like it would be a perfect time to do it right now. I mean, even if it's just like anthology horror, because I feel like anthology horror is really, really big right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what movies like The Conjuring and God, what else came out this year was real big Weapons. I mean, some horror movies, I feel like the right studios, the Warner Brothers seems to have this figured out how to get not only quality horror movies, but get people to actually go see them.
Right. Have you seen Weapons yet?
We're gonna be watching, I think, next week or so. We have our list of horror movies picked out, and it's the fourth one we're gonna be doing for the season.
Great. I saw it in the theater. It was amazing.
Really, I love Barbarian, so I said I'd give anything that this guy did another try. But this is one of those where people are like, it's. I'm still processing Weapons.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's really good. I don't want to say anything. I'm not even gonna spoil anything for you. It's great though. I loved it.
It's gonna be really cool. You guys got any? I mean, you're probably horror year round like I am, but do you have anything? I don't know, for the season that you plan on watching or reading?
Spooky season for books.
Yeah.
I'm all geared up for.
Got your picks out already, or
I've got it all figured out, all lined up. I'm right in the middle of Buffalo Hunter, which I thought was interesting talking to you, considering. You hated
just something about his writing style just didn't work for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe his writing style is just too smart for me. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I can just never get into a flow with it. I don't know.
But I'm knocking out a couple classics that I should have read by now, but I haven't. One of which is Frankenstein. I will do that next month, and I'm going to do that just in time. Speaking of Guillermo del Toro, I'm going to do it just in time to watch his Frankenstein movie. Do you know about that?
I do, yeah, coming on Netflix. I mean, I watched the trailer and my kid was like, is that more like the book? I was like, it's more like the book than like the one that they did in the 90s, but not really.
I just like Guillermo del Toro.
He's great. He's great. For anything, you watch a del Toro movie just to see the monsters. The monsters never disappoint.
Yeah. And then I'm knocking out my list of shame is Misery.
Okay.
Stephen King is literally my favorite author of all time, and I've never read Misery. There's actually quite a few of his like bigger ones that I've just kind of have not got to yet. Like 1122. God, why am I blanking? 63. I haven't read that one either, and that's like so many people have that as their number one. So I don't know.
You got some bangers left. You know, a lot of people I know that they'll say, "Hey, you got me to read Stephen King," and they're like, "I knocked out like the 10 biggest ones," and now they're like, "Oh, well, everything it's not as good as like some of the." I was like, "Well, yeah, you started with the greatest hits, and you're mad that not everything is the greatest hits." So that's like, slow down. Try some less popular ones, maybe. It's kind of mixed up a little bit because if you read like The Shining and It and Pet Sematary, and then you're like, you know what? Bill Hodges books just weren't as good. Well, no, of course they aren't. It's a different writer now.
Right.
You definitely got to take some breaks there. But I think everybody has something like that. Like our Halloween list this year for our movies that we're going to watch. Like I've never seen Death Becomes Her, and my wife when she heard that, she was like, "Holy crap! I'm still picking that for you." So this is one of those like I never had a reason not to. Just never did. So
that's good. That's good.
Some of our favorites.
That's comedy. That's more comedy though than anything.
Well, she really got freaked out by Terrifier last year.
Oh, okay.
And I got Terrifier 2 on the list, so she made sure she strategically picked that right after Terrifier 2.
Oh, okay.
She need a laugh, Yep.
Let her decompress,
So what do you got on for video ideas or anything that you don't feel about revealing that yet for October? You got any themed?
I always do a big Halloween special. Last year, what was last year? House of Leaves. I don't know if have you read
I haven't done it yet. No.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
I feel like it'll take my life over. So I just
it's like a puzzle book reading it. And I had like 4 different camera setups from all these different angles, and it was a real big high production video. Anyway, I always do like a Halloween special. This year I thought I'd just do all of my books, but I'm going to basically review them all in one video, just like little mini reviews, like 4 or 5 minutes per book that I read for spooky season. So it would be about 6 reviews in one video. But then I was going to introduce some kind of like an old school, what is that? What am I trying to say? Like back Alfred Hitchcock would come out and introduce a show. Every episode he'd come out and did you watch, speaking of Guillermo del Toro, did you watch the Cabinet of Curiosities?
I watched a couple of episodes, but not
and he'd come out at the beginning and he would like introduce the story. So I'm thinking of like coming out and like introducing a book review and then running the review and then introducing another one, but kind of give it like a little bit of extra added flair and some up the production value a little bit more than
out full Rod Serling, like introducing a Twilight Zone episode. That'd be pretty good.
Do what?
Do like Rod Serling would do with the Twilight Zone.
I don't know how I'm going to introduce him yet. I'm working out all the kinks, but I want to do something fun with it. You know,
I had that goofy award show idea, and I tried to do that where I was just like presenting.
I saw that.
It's like I thought it felt good on paper, and then I actually go back and looking at it. I was like, hey, we got to take risks once in a while, you know.
Well, yeah, I have fun with it. I really do. I like. I don't know. I used to make little home movies when I was in high school with all my friends, and we literally like write scripts and make movies. Me and my friend, I film all kinds of stuff. So I go a little all out for some things.
We used to make our own unsolved mysteries videos.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how creative we were back in the 90s, guys. It was really
well, yeah. Hey, you know what? That was it for me. I'm a few years behind you, but not too far.
Yeah, we had the big like camcorder that was like this big. It wasn't like just a camera in your pocket. The quality was pretty bad.
We my friend, one of my friends, we had the little digital. It was DV, I think, digital videotape or something at that point in time, but it was a little handheld. And one of my friends had access to the school Mac. And it had iMovie on it, like an old 90s version of iMovie. And we could edit on it, but we had to do it kind of like after hours when people didn't know we were using the Apple computer at school.
It's like a Stranger Things episode. That's
cool. This is like 90. When would that have been? Probably about 1998-ish.
Yeah, no, ours never had that high of quality.
Yeah.
Ours looks like the horror movies, B/H/S. That's kind of what our movies look like.
Yeah. That was,
we didn't intentionally make it that way. So you've probably told this story on your channel before. What does the Rammel stand for in your channel name? Is that your last name?
That's my name.
It is your last name.
Yes, that's my name.
I wasn't sure if that was your last name. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Broadcasting. Okay. Well, that was a very, very dumb question to me then. I didn't know.
No, that's just my name. That's what I went by most of my life when I going back to high school. John is like the most typical name on the face of the planet. And then in my friend group alone, we had 2 Johns, a Sean, and a Dawn. So it was like everybody had the same name. And out of the 2 Johns, I had the cooler last name. So I became Rammel so that nobody would get confused. And then
we had 5 Mikes on the baseball team. So coach just called us by the last name, and that's just kind of stuck. And that's just so hardly anybody knew my Mike. It's just kind of the way that goes sometimes.
No, and then I went out into the professional world, and people call you John, and so I kind of got used to that. But then when it came time for the channel, I was like, let's do Rammel. Let's go back to that for a minute.
Yeah, I made this channel on the fly. Had no idea what I was doing. Had no idea the BookTube was really like a thing when I did it. People ask all the time, what would you do differently? I was like, I'd pick a more clever name. But now it's like you got brand recognition. It'd be stupid to just throw that away.
Right.
I'm not Dunkin' Donuts. I can't change my name at this point. And have the same success. But hey, you win some, you lose some.
I put Rammel Broadcasting. I tried to make it broad because I didn't want to box myself into like John reads books, and then well, what if I want to evolve into something that's not books? Then I'll just do Rammel Broadcasting. I can talk about anything I want. And then my channel, like about description, I put gaming, books, movies, and music in the description. Like I just covered all the bases. Like it was
that's why I have my TV and movie talk kind of sections on my weekly updates, because like I still want to talk about those things, but I know that's not why people are here.
So,
like I used to do what I'd call a segment I used to call off the book. So I'd do like my favorite TV shows or my favorite video games or whatever. And I finally just made a second channel that I neglect.
I
neglect really, really bad because I don't have time to do this. And that, how many hours a week do you think you say you put into this? And not counting reading the books, just working on the channel.
I don't. At least 16.
16.
At least I'd say I put a good 2 solid 8-hour days in normally. Sometimes more.
Well, your videos look beautiful. I'm very, very jealous. I mean, your setup is amazing looking. I struggle, and I know it's always going to be like grass is greener. But it's like, because I will have people all the time be like, "Oh man, I've been trying to make my channel look like yours, and you're complaining that your channel look like someone else's." I think it's like rock stars want to be actors, and actors want to be rock stars.
Yeah. But first off, thank you. I that means a lot. I appreciate that. I work quite hard at this, but yeah, I don't know. I realized, I don't know. Speaking of content creation, and how I put this together. I'm stammering. Sorry. How I put this together and how I work such a large block of time is I realized I'm not very good at this. Like I'm not good at getting on camera and talking. I saw people like you and other people that kind of flip the camera on and you just kind of go. And you make it look easy and you make it look natural. And I was like, oh, I can do that. And I turned my camera on. I can't. I'm not good at it. I realize I talk in circles. I repeat myself. I sound like an idiot. I say way too many times. So I just had to realize I'm not good at that. I have to like put up like nice bullet points, what I want to say in the order that I want to say it, so the first like 2 hours, 3 hours of my day, well, maybe not 3 hours, but at least an hour or two is just sitting there, putting the bullet points together. What am I going to say and how am I going to say this? And then that's when I turn the camera on. And that's when I will use the bullet points as a jumping off point, but don't really deviate, because if I don't, I'm going to end up in some la land somewhere and the video doesn't make sense anymore. So and then once I film it, then I got to chop that down into something that makes sense video wise. So it normally takes a good at least 6 to 8 hours for me to put one video together that's 20 minutes long.
I'd say it takes me significantly less, but I never claimed that they're really great. So it's like I am blessed to thankfully have the gift of gab. I have no problem talking. My problem is that I have a problem staying on topic.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, hey, tell me about this koozie. I can make that last for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be entertaining. I'm saying I can. Yeah. Really good about the ums because I podcasted for 10, 12 years before this.
Yeah.
Still, I didn't think that I struggled with saying, but I started a TikTok and you put all the captions in there and it's picking up a lot of knows. And I was like, oh no, I do it more than I think that I do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something that we just do as humans and don't even realize that we're doing it. But I tell people a lot. They're like, hey, what does it take to really like start with this? It's like, well, first make sure you can talk. I mean, I think that's probably the most important.
Right.
Then worry about making your setup look amazing. Just start. I tell you, no one's ever going to say my first video looked amazing and looked and sounded amazing. Your first video is never going to look and sound amazing. So just start.
I leave my old videos up for posterity at this point because they're they are embarrassingly bad.
Mine, like my first few, like literally like the words aren't matching my lips. It's so bad because I had all the podcasting equipment.
Yeah.
I had no video editor. I don't even remember what I used.
Yeah.
It was like some kind of free source thing that I used.
Okay.
Yeah. It looked like it was on a Nokia phone because it was like it's an old Logitech camera. And it's so bad. And the thing is, like, I want to get rid of those, but it's like people love those old Wheel of Time videos so much. And I'm like, I still get so many comments about these videos all the time. But I tell myself, God, I hate that is someone's first impression with the channel, because I will occasionally get a comment on a video from 2019, 2020. They're like, get a better camera, bro. And I'm like, watch a newer video, bro.
I know. Yeah.
So I do leave them up there because there are people who still find value in those. And it is for us to say, hey, look, you have improved. You've gotten better. And I think everybody does. But a lot of people spend so much money and time getting everything to look perfect before they even start. And then they get frustrated. They don't have instant success.
Yeah.
So I always recommend just start and worry about filling that all in later.
I thought it was, I had delusions that it was going to be easier than it is. I thought, I'll put this out there. People will watch. It'll get engagement. I'll get to talk to people. Oh yeah, no. No, I put up a video and it got like 30 views. I was like, oh, that's not what I thought this was, and I beat my head against that wall for a year. But first off, I was also having quite a bit of fun. I was just enjoying what I was doing. But yeah, I think at the end of my first year, I only had 50 subscribers after a year. Yeah. Wow. And my second year, I had 200. And then I went up from there pretty quickly. But
I don't know how I got lucky, because I think that I remember I made a bet with my wife is that I wouldn't get 2,000 subs my first year. Oh, and and she bet if I did, I had to do something stupid on camera that she got to pick. And I did. I passed. I got like 2,200 the first year. So she made me read Harlequin romance novels on air.
I see.
And yeah, so first rule is never ever make a bet with your wife.
Right.
But the thing is the only good thing, I think, well, two. I think there's two good things that came out of the virus and shall not be named. One, employers let people work from home more often now. That's nice. And two, people were home, and I feel like that's why my channel kind of took off when it did. It's because I was going through my Wheel of Time read, and there's a lot of people who were like, "Hey, I'm going to just read those books along with you." And so that's why my channel actually, and I made a Kindle video.
Oh,
apparently those do really, really good numbers. Yeah. When I go back and watch that Kindle video, I'm like, oh God, why did I make it? How did I press upload on this?
I know, right? There's yep. I've got a couple of those.
You kept hustling like that. That's cool, because a lot of people would have gave up.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I was just enjoying what I was doing. I was at that time I was doing book reviews, and then I was playing video games with my kids. Like I was literally doing gaming content with my kids on this channel. You can go back and find it. They're all still
streaming, or just talking about games.
No, we would play a video. I would record us playing a video game, and then I'd edit it together and I'd upload it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I called it Game Night, and it was just me playing video games.
Sounds incredibly wholesome. I got to go check this out. That's awesome.
It was fun, and then I phased those out, and I saw. This is back when I had like 200 subscribers. I saw Murphy doing these read-throughs of One Piece, and I've never read comics. I've never read manga. I've never read anything. And I thought, I always grew up watching like anime and stuff like that. And I thought, I saw her videos and I thought, I want to do that, but I don't think One Piece is my jam. That didn't that's not what I come from. And so I kind of looked around the manga space and I saw Berserk, and I said, that's the one.
Berserk.
And I grabbed some Berserks and I started doing Berserk read-throughs, really kind of being inspired by Murphy Napier. And all of a sudden I went from 200 subscribers to over 1,000. Now my channel's monetized. I'm like, what, since when, what is this? And now I'm a manga content creator for the most part. And I did that for a year-ish, maybe more. And then that started to peter off, and the views weren't that great. Now, this whole time I kept doing book reviews, because that's really what I was here for. Right. Like in the first place was the books, because you have people to talk to in your life. You have people you can watch movies with. You have people you can talk music with, video games with. There's not many people you can talk books with. So that was kind of like
when it's sci-fi and horror.
Yeah, that's like the core of what I'm here for, is the book. So I never let the books go, and I'm still doing my top 10 horror books lists and stuff like that. And then last year I did this 1-2 punch. It was that horror video took off out of nowhere, and that took off right around the same time that I read Game of Thrones, and I put up a Game of Thrones book review, and it was like the 1-2 punch. And all of a sudden my channel's getting like 2,000 subscribers a month. And I'm like, where did that come from? So, and that shot me from 4,000 to 20,000 in like a year. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
So it sounds like I need to resume my Game of Thrones reviews. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know. It did well for me. And fantasy is something I've never really read. I'm brand new to fantasy. So horror and science fiction are my bread and butter. They have been the backbone of my reading since I was 20, when I first discovered reading. So yeah, I don't know. I decided to try fantasy. I've been trying to fill in blind spots. If I feel like I have a blind spot in my reading catalog, I want to fill those in. I tried to prioritize female authors this summer and stuff like that. So I don't know. And people are signing up for it. So That's
yeah,
awesome.
so I did Berserk as well. Those did very, very popular. But the problem with that was I got a bunch of people that subscribed and they just wanted me to do nothing but manga. And I was like, my brother, I'm going to do like one of these videos a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And that same thing with the One Piece fans is I still get comments about why didn't you resume One Piece? It's like, because my audience wasn't really here for that. So I was like, the subscriber numbers went up, but like the views weren't going up, you know, because they weren't here for everything else that I was doing. But I do know that we both really enjoyed Uzumaki, right?
Yes.
Uzumaki, yeah. I say that's a pretty popular video for you as well. I think your Uzumaki did way better than my video did. So
it's got 100 and something. I don't know what 100
awesome.
And what, but it's like 125 maybe thousand. So that was my first video that was my
guy. Junji Ito, the author, he is like the horror guy.
Yeah. I always read a Junji Ito for spooky season. I'll do another one of his for spooky season this year. So last year was, I forget, Tomy or something.
Yeah, you're never gonna try One Piece?
Never say never, but I'm not excited about it. I always have people commenting on it because I still do my top 10 manga videos and stuff like that. I still talk about the new chapters of Berserk when they drop. Well, I kind of phased those out just because I was busy and I didn't have time to do them. But those I'll get like 500 views on that. It's really, my manga content just really fell off. I don't know what happened.
As well, like Death Note did good. The One Piece didn't. Some Berserks really did. Some did not. So it's really, really weird.
Yeah. So, and I got plenty of things. I'm here to talk about things I love, and I enjoy plenty of things. I can pivot to, just about anything I need to. If like, not that that's what we're here for, but if you're not getting the engagement in one area, and I can get it over here, and I can have great conversations with people about this. I don't know.
No, but I get people a lot saying, "Hey, just don't worry about that. Just make what you want to make." It's like, well, I do make what I want to make. I also do want to keep my audience entertained, and if they are into that thing, then that's something I'm probably not going to do very much. Now, I know you did start Dungeon Crawler Carl. What are your initial impressions? How are you feeling about it?
It is a lot better than I expected it to be. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I thought I was going to really dislike it. The humor is kept at a minimum. The slapstick humor that I thought I was going to get just berated with the whole book is kept at a minimum. The progression is nice. I really enjoyed some of the progression, the leveling up, and him getting better. And I liked Carl. Carl was my guy through the whole thing. I loved his character. I loved his personality. It was pretty early on in the book when he started to talk about show cats. And let me tell you about these people that take cats to shows. And he's like, you know what? Fuck those guys. And he just moves on and starts talking about something else. And I was like, this is great. And he maintained that attitude the whole time. Donut was not so great. Donut kind of got on my nerves a little bit at the beginning, but she wasn't bad. She didn't ruin the book for me. There was some stuff like the new achievement, and like he would, if he would have left it like new achievement, baby killer, I would have been like, this is great, this is funny. But then he adds like this ridiculous joke onto the end of the achievement to try and make it funny. I'm like, no, it was funny before you added the joke. You should have left it alone. But so there were some things that grated on my nerves, but for the most part, I was pleasantly surprised.
You ever play the Borderlands video games?
No.
Oh, I feel like that a lot.
Oh, wait, yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, I had 3, just the one, just the only.
Yeah. I felt like a good mix of Borderlands and God, I forget what else I compared it to. But I liked book 1 the best, and I think where the thing for me is like it just started to feel repetitive. Mm-hmm. It started to feel repetitive. So I'm 4 books in. I still really like it. Yeah. I just don't love it. But I really enjoyed that first book a lot, and I'm reading it with my eyes, not listening to it. And I know I'm sure you heard by now. You've got to listen to the audiobook.
I have. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, I have never.
The only way to do this is with the audiobook.
Maybe Dresden Files is the only one that I've gotten attacked with more people being like, "No, don't read it. You've got to listen to the audiobook, or you're not going to experience it the right way." And I'm like,
okay. I've got that actually. I put up a video talking about series I want to read, and Dresden Files was on. Actually, I think I told you you're the reason the Dresden Files is on that list.
Oh, I know that Red Rising. I'm the reason that Red Rising is not on your list, so we're going to talk about that as well. But I didn't know that. You haven't started.
Well, because I was putting this video idea together, series I want to read, and I've got all these lists, and I'm coming up with I had 7 or 8, and I was like, 10's a good round YouTube number. I need 10 series. And you said something about the Dresden Files in one of your videos, like I should do a why you should read or something, and I'm like, I should read the Dresden Files. Yeah, I didn't even watch your video. It was like a weekly update I was watching or something. And I was like, yes, I forgot all about the Dresden Files. But then
Dresden is a read.
I put it in that video, and then everybody's like, you got to listen to the audiobook. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, it's James Marshers. Did you know James Marshers played Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Yes, I'm aware.
Okay. I'm aware. All right.
So I did spoiler reviews for every single one of those books.
Oh, okay.
So in every single one of those videos, someone's like, have you considered trying the audiobooks? Yeah, I get that a lot, but that's just it's fine. I mean, they're really great performances. That's awesome. For me, I'm not like anti-audio. I can't do it. I just have listening ADD. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of those people who's like, listening to the audiobook is not reading. To me, it's like consume the story anyway, and it gets more people to check out some of these stories I like. Hey, then I'm for it. Like I know my kid's going to be an audiobook listener because he has no interest in reading them, but he likes it when I read it to him.
Yeah, there you go. I never listened to audiobooks for all the way up. I tried my first audiobook probably about maybe 3 years ago, not too long ago. And it was kind of hard. It's weird after reading for so many years and then listening to it be read to you was a little off-putting. It took some almost practice to get good at listening to a book, if that even makes sense. But after a little while of listening to them, after like book 2 or 3, it like clicked. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get this now. And now it's helped me greatly just in my, I'm so busy because I'm a dad. I got 2 kids. I've got a job. I've got, you know what I mean? You've got all these responsibilities in life and trying to read books at the same time. So I almost always, when I pick up my book, I just download the audiobook too. And then in the evenings, like if I'm sitting, relaxing on the couch or in my bed, I read my book physically. And then like if I got to drive, because pretty much most of my shopping, I have to drive. It's 20-minute drive to get to anywhere I really need to go. And it's 20-minute drive back. That's 40 minutes in the car. I'm going to listen to my book, And then if I'm mowing the lawn, I got these big noise canceling headphones.
That's an option that I wish that I had because I think about all the chores I do around the house. I mean, I said listen to sports radio. I would love to be listening to this.
Yeah, I'll wash dishes, standing there at the sink, washing the pots and pans. Got my little earbuds in, listening to whatever book I got going on. And then in the evenings, I go back to reading physically. I just kind of leapfrog my way through it, and I'll tear through a book. It's sped up my reading a lot.
It's like a superpower. I'm jealous.
It really did. It keeps me, and it makes me be able to get through. I can get through my books much more leisurely. Like I don't have to be like, oh man, I'm trying to hurry up and get through this one. No, I just kind of burn through them, and it's nice. I don't know. Yeah, it works for me.
That's good. That's good. Another series I've heard the audiobooks are very good are Red Rising.
Okay.
Just say so. Let's just kind of set this up here. What I said about Red Rising was that it felt like the way the series started was Pierce Brown knew the people who had finished Hunger Games were a little older, so he kind of wanted to ease them into it. So I know that kind of chases people. I just want to kind of prepare them to know that, yes, you're going to read the first book and you're going to be like, oh, this feels like Hunger Games on Mars. This isn't anything special. I don't know why you carry on about this, Mike. And I try to tell them he's just leading you in because once you get to book 2, it's a completely different series, and it's really, really awesome. And it gets darker and darker and more effed up as the series goes along. So I definitely don't think it's YA, not even in the closest. I think it's more comparable to like First Law or Joe Abercrombie in Space. It's kind of what I've kind of compared it to. But it does start that way. Yeah. So I try to tell people, just trust the process. Yeah. But I can understand why it will chase some people off with me describing it that way. So I'm probably doing it a disservice.
Yeah. Who was it? I think it was Two to Ramble that said they were like, it's like if you're graduating from YA and you're ready to go into like adult fantasy, go Red Rising. I was like, that's the worst sales pitch I've ever heard in my life. Like, if you're graduating from YA, no, thank you. I never even did YA. I graduated past that I don't know. I didn't start reading till I was 20 anyway. So,
using the graduation speech, I think what I said was the reason I wanted to try Malazan is it feels like your graduation from college in fantasy is the Wheel of Time. And then you say, you know what, I want to go get my doctorate.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Malazan is. And you finished it recently. And
yes.
I think you kind of described it as like, kind of feeling like you have that missing place now in your heart because you finished the series, right?
Not too much, but I'm trying to find a series to replace it in my reading schedule, but I don't feel like I'm missing something now that it's gone. But it was genuinely impressive. It was what he was able to do with that story it's shockingly impressive. And he dropped those one a year. Like he didn't stop. They got 10 books in 10 years. And it was so, I know we agree that Reaper's Gale's the weakest of all the books, I think, right?
It's the one that burned me out to the point where I was like, I don't think I can go anymore.
Yeah, so, I put it on the bottom of, I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 when I ranked it, but it was the bottom book for me. And that, when you go into Toll the Hounds?
Sometime next year.
Next year. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm just fingers crossed for you just because it's so impressive what he did with the series and with the characters. And I don't know, he brings it home in such a wonderfully Steven Erikson kind of way, because he's kind of writing this story that's so big and it's covering every possible character, going through every conceivable arc. And he's got his very main core themes that he's trying to really drive home, his sympathy and his empathy and all of that stuff. And he just really, I don't know, what he did with that series is shockingly impressive, I guess. It's just,
I remember a friend of mine was reading it and he got to book 10 and he was telling me about guy like the halfway point. He's like, I can't believe this. I feel like he's dropping the ball. I'm so upset. And then like literally 5 days later, he's like, greatest series ever. Most amazing series of all time. So I was like, okay, so I guess the second half of the book did what he wanted it to do. But that was actually when it first got on my radar, really, was from a friend of mine that was going through it, because I was just like, those books are gigantic. Are you serious? You're going to read all those? Yeah. And that was even before I'd even read Wheel of Time.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay. Yeah. Maybe that'd be a little bit later, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish it, because if I tell people all the time, I'm not scared of Malazan fans. If I'm going to quit, I'll just say I quit. Because I get comments on that video all the time where I said I will finish eventually. They're like, you need to shit or get off the pot. I'm like, I don't need to do nothing.
Right. I'll be fine. Thank you.
What I'm like saying is, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to remember anything that's going on. I'm like, that's no big deal. I didn't understand everything that was going on the first time I was reading.
Right. I don't understand that. Like, I'll be reading multiple books at a time, and it's just like back in the day when you would watch an episode of Lost, and then the next day you'd watch an episode of something else, and then a week later you have to remember where the hell Lost was.
That's why I have no idea why people ask that. Like, how can you read so many different series at once? Yeah. It's like, I watch more than one TV series at a time. Right. I don't know.
I read multiple books at a time. I'll have one in my bag and I'll be like, oh man, that's not the one I wanted. Oh well, I'll go pick. Where was I at in this one?
4 different review copies, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody sent these review copies at the same damn time. We got to put out the books in November. Gosh,
I got to figure out how to get my hands on those. I still have not. I never received an ARC ever. Never.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. You got to hound them. You really got to hound them. Because I'm a little. It's a little easier for me now, but I still don't get approved for everything.
Yeah.
But there's some of the bigger ones. I just found that, like, what I realized doing this is that authors are as exhausted with that as we are.
Yeah.
Is because they're like, you should be giving these to people who want you to read them and talk about them. Yeah. You should be passing these out like water. Why are you guys holding these like a? Who's going to sit there and on a scanner and scan 1,100 pages of a book before it comes out? What are you worried about? And they're as frustrated with it as I am. And I just started contacting the authors.
That's crazy.
And they also, including your pal Jay Kristoff.
Oh gosh. I can't.
Everybody hits me up and be like, "Go, man! John really didn't like Interview the Vampire. What do you think?" I'm like, "He's allowed." Even I said when I reviewed it, this ain't going to be a book for everyone. So,
what
did you find so abrasive about it? What did you just how edgy it is?
It's Yeah, so much. It was just like I said in the video, he's like an edgelord. What would an edgelord think was cool? And it just irritated my soul. And then he like the language, and he's trying to like add cuss words into things that didn't need cuss words in ways that were just so painfully cringy. Like I couldn't get past it. And then he like I like the one thing that he had like this drug addiction to the main character because being a drug addict is cool, and it's like he sets it up like okay, so he has this substance that kind of like, what was it? I can't even remember. It keeps him the blood. He has this blood that he kind of has to use, but if he uses it, he becomes addicted to it. So I'm like, oh, he set this up to be like this really cool thing. Like he doesn't want to, but he kind of has to, but if he does it, then he'll become addicted, So the guy in the that's interviewing him is like, so you had to take it. And he's like, no, I took it because I was addicted. And I'm like, you could have like added a little bit of nuance to it. And it like, he teed it right up. He even had like the interviewer, I forget what the interviewer said, but he basically had the interviewer say the setup that I thought would have been perfect to add like a little bit of depth and nuance to that discussion in the book. And Jay Kristoff said, no. I will have no depth and no nuance in this conversation. I don't know. I was frustrated.
No, I absolutely understand it because, like I said, when I reviewed it for sure, I said that, like, Jay Kristoff overall is like he's not going to be an author for everybody. And so I have no problems. Like Alan over at Library of Alexandria just like, I can't believe you read Jay Kristoff books. And I was like, I don't know. I guess it's just everybody is just with a lot of these books. Sometimes they just get so damn serious, so self-serious, and it just I find that just like, oh God, gag me, Right. So sometimes when it's just a little goofy, I can take that. But your criticisms are valid. I completely understand those.
And then and I pissed people off when I made that video because I DNF'd the book. I got about I think I made it to right around the halfway point, DNF'd the book. Then I made a video on how I hated the book, and people were like, you have no right to talk about a book if you didn't finish the book. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have strong feelings about the half of that book that I read, and I need to say something.
I don't know if I've ever done a dedicated review to something I DNF. I think I just kind of just slowed down on reviews overall because I'm sure it's some they don't work. 1 out of 10 maybe hit, and that sucks because that's what I feel like. That's what I started with this channel with doing. But,
I stubbornly put up at least 2 or 3 of them a month, no matter what.
I wish I could say that. Besides Stephen King, I don't really do that. So it's the Stephen King ones. I'm just like, I don't care if they don't do any numbers. My Stephen King stuff rarely does numbers. That's for me. I that's my favorite author. I want to talk about every one of these books.
Right.
I know there are a dedicated group of people who are subscribed to my channel just for the Stephen King content. And I want to make sure I'm writing that.
Yeah.
But
and then I do the Patreon pick where I have my patrons nominate a book, and one of the books that I read every month will be picked at random from the books that they nominate, and I always do a video on that. Like, period. That's just part of. I don't know. I always feel like I don't do enough for my patrons. Like somebody literally.
I wish I could do more.
Yeah. Somebody literally took money out of their paycheck and gave me a couple of dollars that month that they could have spent on groceries for their kids. And I just I feel like, I'm going to try to do something. So you know what you guys, I'll pick a book and I will do a whole video on that book, whether I like it or not, so
that's clever. I wish I could do more for my patrons. Absolutely. We used to like have like a monthly phone call and stuff like that. People just started getting hard to get everybody to get on the thing at the same time. But I definitely wish I could do more for them because I'm the same way. I'm just like, I can't fathom that anybody enjoys what I do enough to send me actual cash. That's bonkers.
Yeah.
But
I'm still just shocked. I started getting books in the mail and I still only get like maybe 1 or 2 a month, but I'm like, this is wild. Just the fact that somebody, I don't know. It's very, I don't know, humbling, I guess. And
absolutely. Absolutely, and that's why I always say with my book haul videos, like it's just my chance to say thank you because I mean that's nuts that anybody would want to send me anything. I think that's really cool. Because I think back when I started this channel, I was like, I just wanted other people I know that read these kinds of books that I read because no one was reading fantasy books. They were making fun of me and saying, "Oh, you read more fairy books today, Mike?" You know, that's
I still get made fun of in the real world. It's wild the way the world works. I show up.
You can go get another Type Hustler book. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I show up at work with a book, and people are like, "What you reading this time?" And I'm like, "God, what are you guys doing? You guys are like, you know, in your 30s and 40s. What are we doing?" But
you know what's really funny about that is I've been doing this for 6 years and never had anyone at my office say anything, stumble upon it, or nothing like that. I'm on TikTok for 2 weeks, and someone at work saw it.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I think TikTok just has a much bigger audience than I could even fathom. Really, it's one of those things like I wouldn't have it if I didn't have this channel.
Yeah,
I just figured I'd give it a try because you know, try to get reach new people. That's kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But what different audiences? Because I think there's a video I'll do on my YouTube channel that's do well, but it does really well on TikTok. Or there's something that does really great on YouTube, and I'll put on TikTok, does nothing. So it's weird, very, very different audiences, I think. But if you think you're like me, it's hard to say anything in a minute and a half.
Yeah. It's people book tubers will like Preacher or Fun Fantasy Books. What's her name?
Isa.
She'll ask you to do like a, you know, can you recommend a book in 60 seconds? I'm like, I can try. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you get those collaboration videos and people are like, try to keep it under 60 seconds. I'm like, huh?
Okay. I know. She told me 60 seconds. I think I came in at almost well over 90. I was like, you know, I was a minute and a half. Gosh, it was rough. Huh?
Dang. So what you say? You're still a big gamer?
Yes and no. I pretty much download at least a couple games a year. So yes, I wouldn't say big gamer, but I'm beating my head against the wall right now on 𝕎𝕒𝕟𝕟.
Oh man, the first Hollow Knight had me like that.
Oh my God, it's terrible. I have a I'm an Xbox guy. I've had Xboxes for years and years and years. So if it pops up on Game Pass, I'll probably try it, you know, because that's the
value in all of gaming, man, is Game Pass. I love it. Yeah.
I was going to say, do you have Game Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm going to give you $20 a month and I can download literally anything. Okay.
Day one, some of these games.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was just wetting themselves over Expedition 33. And I was like, I would have never played that if it wasn't on Game Pass, probably.
Yeah. I played that day one. That was probably the best game I've played this year.
I think that's probably my game of the year right now. Like we'll have to see as I get further into Borderlands 4, but that's just different. Borderlands 4 is just Borderlands overall, just a series that me and my wife always have played together, and it's just a blast for us to play. But Expedition 33, like that's as good as any book I've read this year.
Yeah. I put that immediately. I played through the prologue and I got a little ways into the actual game and I screenshotted it and I put it in my Discord. Like, you guys have got to stop what you're doing now and go install 𝕬𝕬𝕣𝕬𝕣𝕬𝕣. This is amazing.
The soundtrack. I actually got the soundtrack too, and I listen to that sometimes when I'm reading. It's good soundtrack. Okay. It just makes me want to play. But you talked about playing with your kids. My kids are getting to the point now where they're starting to get to where they don't want to play with me. They want to play on their own. And it really is, because I grew up a console gamer, obviously. So I saw that they like their Roblox and play on their iPads, and they don't seem to be too interested. My kid would go crazy for a game once in a while. Like, he loved Elden Ring, and he just beasted the hell out of that game. But then it's just every day, just because you can talk to your friends and stuff, and I get it. But I just asked him like the other day, I was like, "Hey, you want to play this game on Game Pass with these two players?" And he's like, "Nah."
No.
So you tell, hey, he's a teenager now. You know, maybe he doesn't. He wants to go hang out with his friends. He don't want to hang out with stupid dad. You know, but you tell yourself not to get hurt feelings, but still, it's kind of like.
Yeah. My son doesn't want to play anything with me anymore. He plays on his computer with his friends. He's got a little gaming laptop, and he does everything through Steam now. He's 14. He's too cool for me.
Yeah, 13 and 10. Minor.
14 and 12. Or my daughter. Although my daughter she was a couple months ago, she was playing a video game up in her room. I said, "Oh, what are you playing?" She said, "Halo." I was like, "What? Since when do you play Halo?" I was like, "Which one?" She's like, Infinite. I was like, I'll fire up the Xbox right now. We can play together.
It's a couch co-op, so there's not enough of it anymore. There really isn't. So that's why something like Borderlands, we get to play. Me and my wife get to play that together, and I know how blessed I am that I have a wife who will play these games with me. So.
And we weren't even playing couch co-op. She played from her bedroom, and I played from my room, and we we just joined a fire team on Halo, and I put my little earbuds in, and we talked to because she's got gaming headphones, and we talked to each other that way.
That's awesome. Cross-platform, so fun. So I tried to play with them, do the Roblox thing, and I was like, this is dumb. I don't like the
Roblox.
So the tablet games or whatever, just it's just not my thing. I tried that they could play Minecraft on their tablets, and I can play it on my PlayStation, and we can kind of do it that way. But we're not like a brand thing. We're stupid. We buy all of them. We got a Switch, we got a Xbox, we got a PS5. I actually had bought a really nice Alienware gaming rig, and then I just never use it.
I pretty much have to have the Nintendo because I grew up on Zelda, and same. I would rather die than not be able to play the new Zelda game when it drops. So I have to have. I don't have a Switch, or a Switch 2. I'll get one when they drop the new Zelda. Is when I'll feel obligated to get one.
We are coming from the same point of view here, because I remember I'm not getting a Switch, and then I saw the video for Breath of the Wild. I was like, well, I'm not going to not play it.
Right.
So I'm always like that. I'm not getting the new Nintendo. The Switch 2, I was like, no thanks. I'm not paying that much for it. But if they had said it was coming out with a new Zelda game, I'd have done it.
Yep. And I've got my editing computer here that I built from scratch, so I can play any PC game that I want on it. And then when it came to the PlayStation and the Xbox, I was like, I got to pick one or the other, because I can't. That's too much to be, because they basically play all of the same games anyway. There's a handful of exclusives that you're going to get locked out of, and I just don't think they're that important to buy both of them. So I just always go Xbox, because it had my Halo and Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls was locked on the Xbox there for a while.
Yeah. Actually, I started playing Witcher 3 again today. And the thing was, because I talked to my wife about this, is like every single time a game that's the next Elder Scrolls kind of clone, I play it, and I just want to be playing the Elder Scrolls or Skyrim. And then every other kind of open world game, and I'm just like, I'm always chasing the next Witcher 3, and I'm like, why don't I just go play the Witcher 3 again?
Right.
So I told her, I was like, I think I'm just going to play Skyrim and Witcher 3 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to go.
I played through. I didn't play it all the way through, but I broke my ankle last year, and I couldn't get out of bed for 10 weeks. I was,
Did you have to get screws in there or something?
Huh?
Did you have to get screws in your?
Oh boy, I had a thing called an external fixator.
Oh, wow.
I fell down into a ravine. I landed on a boulder, and I shattered my ankle. The bone was dust. There wasn't enough.
You ruined it.
Yeah, there wasn't enough bone left to screw into to put the plates and screws in there. So they put this what looks like cage and these rods through my heel and my shin, and it fixated my leg in place so that the bone could grow enough to have something solid enough to screw into. So I had this cage looking torture device, literally looked like something out of a Saw movie, on my lower leg for 10 weeks, and I couldn't get out of bed. And I played through. I was laying there. I was like, what do I want to play? And I fire up Game Pass, and I'm like, ooh, Morrowind. And I'm playing through that, because that was my original Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, it started with Oblivion, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wasn't Skyrim. It was Morrowind.
Back. I remember I bought Morrowind, and here's just how you look at your life differently once you have kids. I bought Morrowind, and I was in my early 20s, all kinds of time on my hands. But I started playing. I was like, this is just too open. This is too much to do. This is going to take over my life. I can't, because I see my friends get addicted to EverQuest and lose their jobs and shit. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that, because that's what I kind of thought about it. Looking back, I'm like, brother, you had nothing but time. You should have poured your life into Morrowind.
Yep.
So after you played Oblivion and Skyrim, going back and playing Morrowind is a little tough. So I'm hoping one day they come out with this did that remaster of Oblivion. I'm hoping they come out with one for Morrowind. I would love it.
I loved that one because there was no hand holding.
Yes, my life.
There was no map markers, no nothing. You would get somebody that would be like, you need to go north of Balmora, and you'll find a cave to the northeast, You know, and they'll be like, and then it's called this, and it would make a little note in your journal, right? And then every time you would talk to somebody, you'd get these notes in your journal. So you're like, you've been playing for 20 hours and you're like, oh yeah, there was that mission I was going to do. And you have to like go back like 10 pages in your journal, read through all these ridiculous notes, trying to find the one note that told you where to go. You know, it wasn't like highlight the quest and it gives you a marker on your screen. No, you were. And then once you got out there in the middle of nowhere, you're like, where the fuck am I? Like, what is going on?
It would be the same thing that with the, basically the nav points kind of ruined Elder Scrolls for her. And she's like, oh, she could just turn them off.
Yeah.
Because then she kind of told me a similar story. She's like, dude, I'll tell you, like, hey, you got to eventually find like this one rock on a cave that opens up some secret entrance, but it's like 400 yards away.
Yeah.
You know, just like forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that,
but I was at the perfect age. I was, you know, I was probably 19, maybe 18 or 19. And it was just, I was all about it. I'll lose 10 hours here. No problem.
Looking back on it, like at the time, I thought, "Oh, I don't have time for something like this." Like you had nothing but time,
right?
You know?
Right.
Instead of watching like nothing but TV shows over and over again, maybe you should just dove into that. But
right.
You win some, you lose some. But I would love to see them do a remaster of that, or I don't know, maybe Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
Todd,
I know. I wish they would have done that instead of Starfield. That was not great. I played it.
That's what's got me worried now. I'm like, well, God, what if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and I feel the way I did about Starfield, where I just feels like this just feels like a relic now. Is this whole system just feels kind of dated? But then I look at like all the mods and stuff that are done for Skyrim. I'm like, that game is still vibrant as hell, man. It is still got so much entertainment value in it. I've poured at least 1,000 game hours into Skyrim. At least 1,000.
Ooh, I don't know if I got that many, but I played a lot. I don't know.
3 different playthroughs.
Oh shoot! Okay, you got me beat by far. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't read as much back then, so I have more time to play games. But I didn't have more is because Witcher 3 came out and it kind of took over my life a little bit.
Yeah.
That was right when my youngest. You know, when your kids are really really small, and basically all they do is sleep, and you just got to make sure they stay alive.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did. Was play Witcher. Yeah.
There you go.
Good times. But I didn't know you were a big Zelda guy too. That's
awesome.
Yeah. Did you play Tears of the Kingdom?
Yes. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I
still haven't finished it because I'm just obsessed with finding all the shrines and stuff. So I haven't finished
either. It. Yeah, I'm somewhere. I think I've beat everybody, all of like the little guardians, whatever they call them now, and I just need to go beat Ganondorf or whatever. But I'm too busy. Like, no, I got to go do this first, and I got to do that first. Because when I beat when I beat him, I'll be like, well, I beat the game. You know,
so I'm trying to go where I'll spend an hour and a half just look because I hear the thing that's beeping telling you there's a shrine nearby. Yeah. I'll spend an hour and a half just trying to find it, and I'm never mad about it.
Yeah, it's great.
Those are. I remember when Breath of the Wild came out. My wife had never played Zelda before, and that game, you remember, you die a lot, and it's like I came up with this really good method. When one of us would get pissed, we would just hand the control to the other person, and so we kind of made it a 2-player game like that. Yeah, and we got so obsessed with that game. My firstborn was, a toddler. We were putting him to bed at like 7:00. We played from 7:00 to like 1 a.m. every night, even on work nights, because we were so addicted to that game.
That's crazy.
Those are great. Those are really
I got frustrated with how the weapons would break so quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Like, come on, give me a weapon.
Or there's a thunderstorm and you just got electrocuted. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It keeps you on your toes, no doubt. Well, that's really awesome. So, any games you're looking forward to?
Let me think. Anything coming out?
Or you just like wait for him to come on Game Pass?
I normally have got my eye on a couple, but I think I'm pretty much done for this year. I can't think anything off the top of my head that's coming up.
Yeah, I think Borderlands was like the last one for us.
Borderlands, yeah, no, I don't normally play that. I played 3, like I said, and it was all right.
It's a really good 2-player game. It's to be 1 player. It's okay. It's a looter shooter. I feel like you need to play with someone else or a party if you have that option.
Yeah. I got my fiance's brother-in-law. He's big into it. He even shot me like his Discord, and he's like, "Well, me and my friends play every night," and I'm like, I got other hobbies that I can't be playing Borderlands every night. But
let me end this with a couple of horror questions here. Okay. Favorite classic horror book, and now a classic to me is anything that's 50 years or older. So I'll be a classic in a few years.
That's easy. That's something Wicked This Way Comes.
Okay, see that? I see the yellow book back there, and I'm assuming that's
right,
what this
right
was.
there. Yeah.
That's a great answer. No, I love Bradbury. I know you love Bradbury. Okay, that's awesome. That's a great pick. Obviously, favorite horror movie.
Oh, yikes! I don't know if I. You know what? I don't know if I have a favorite horror movie, but I'm going to go with an underrated one that I try to get everybody I ever see to watch, and I'm going to say Frailty.
Oh, okay, with Bill Paxton.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, deep. That's a deep cut. That's good.
Yeah.
See, I'm bandwagon. I say The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing. Matthew McConaughey and Frailty. I had that. I wore that DVD out. I couldn't get enough of it. I loved it so much.
Favorite horror villain?
Horror villain. I don't know. Movie or book?
Movie. Let's do movie.
Okay, let's go movie.
Easier.
Huh?
It's easier to do a movie, I think.
It's easier. I'll say Freddy Krueger.
I'm Chucky. So
yeah, okay.
The whole family loves Chucky, whatever.
He was
more in these, but
Yeah, he was my favorite as a kid. I liked him better than Jason or Michael or anybody. I was always a Freddy guy.
I was Freddy for a long time, and then I started realizing, kind of like I've done with the Star Wars movies the last few years, I'm like, at this point, there's more bad movies than good ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, I watched all those Freddy movies so many times. I mean, we would just laugh. And you think about how they started really scary, and then they just got like hilarious. They realized Robert Englund, you can't hold him down. He's just got too much charisma. I think that's kind of funny. I felt like that it influenced Child's Play to kind of go that way. So Chucky started having the one-liners and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and then Freddy, and then Nightmare on Elm Street said, "Well, we got to go more over the top because
it's wild."
So I feel like they kind of influenced each other a little bit, but it's really great, really great. Got any horror movies? We already texted this. I already asked you any horror movies you got on tap to watch this.
No. Oh, I just watched The Long Walk.
Oh, did you like it?
It was amazing.
Wasn't it? It was really good.
I loved it. It was great.
Have you read the book?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was going to read it before it came out, and I didn't have I just had too much going on in my reading schedule, and I couldn't fit it in. And I said, you know what, fuck it. I want to see this movie so bad. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, it was great. And I heard people saying that, like, oh no, it bombed, and I was like, I don't know if it bombed as bad because of the movie or because there was like very limited screen. I'm in the fourth biggest city in the country, and it was in 3 theaters. I was like, what's the deal? Why are they not distributing this movie?
I don't know, but
very well. Great. And I was like, Conjuring was on 5 screens, but I couldn't find only 3 theaters that had The Long Walk. But the ending has changed. But
I heard about that.
It was still incredible.
I thought it was great. Just an hour and 40 minutes of watching people walk, and it was so engaging. That first kill, he makes sure you're paying attention.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. It was, I loved it. I thought it was
incredible
great.
acting. Like the kid who played McVrees was just amazing, man.
Yeah.
He was so good. So, I tell everybody, you got to check. I think that's going to be one of those movies that's kind of like Shawshank Redemption in that it didn't really do well at the box office, but down the line, people are going to discover it. Be like, why haven't I heard of this? Why didn't I know about this?
Because it was really good. Yeah. Frankenstein I got coming up. I want to see that one. And, I don't know if you consider it horror, but I'm really looking forward to this new Predator movie.
Really? Because I saw the trailer and I thought it looked ridiculous, but it looks really awesome. I'm like,
it just looks like fun. It looks like a lot of fun. Him going to this planet and I don't know, carrying a little robot girl around on his back. I thought this looks like I don't know. It looks like fun. I'm going to go see it in the theater for sure.
I'm always hopeful. I'm not a hater on these things. It's like these franchises that I love. I'd love for them to have a really good movie again. It'd be really, really awesome if it is.
I'm waiting for comic book movies to come out with a good movie. Now, I will say, Fantastic Four was the best Marvel movie in years.
Well, I don't know, that's a low bar.
Yes, that is a very low bar. But it was like, I was so super excited. I'm waiting for Superman to come to streaming because I'm not a James Gunn guy.
I don't know if you're going to like it because it's very James Gunn.
I used to like what he was doing, and the more they let James Gunn be James Gunn, the more I'm like, I can't. Like, I really didn't like, what was that one he did? The Suicide Squad? Yeah. His version of the Suicide Squad was just, I didn't like it at all.
I'll see
which
where you fall, because I mean I love Superman, but I also like the Guardians movies, so I didn't feel like it was as goofy as that, but it has those James Gunn-isms in it.
Yeah. I saw the trailers for it and I thought, gosh, it just looks like a James Gunn movie, and that frustrates me because I want something. I don't know what I want. I like the Man of Steel.
I like it a lot, but you know, I'll see how I feel. And I've been waiting for a good Fantastic Four movie since I was a little kid. You know, how many times have they tried? Have you not seen that one yet? I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for digital on that one. See, I told my kids years ago that if there's ever a Batman, a Superman, or a Spider-Man movie, we'll go see it. No questions asked. That's my trio. I will go see those. So I was thinking, I'm just going to wait for streaming for all these, and it was about 2 weeks before it's coming out. And my oldest was like, so we're going to see Superman, right? He's like, that's what you said. So we went, and I'm glad that I did, but I had to say, okay, well, I'm going to wait for Fantastic Four now. But I think all of us have had some superhero exhaustion. I think. I mean, there's probably some Pedro Pascal fatigue that people are going through right now. But it was I thought it was really good. I liked it. Looks like they got Ben right, and then they got Galactus right, and that's what I'm most excited to see.
You know what I liked about it? It was a comic book movie, and you walked into their world, and it was just like all you had to worry about was this group of people, and Galactus shows up, and he's fucking shit up, and we have a problem. We need to solve the problem, and that was it. There was no multiverse. There was no what's Shang-Chi doing right now? Where's Doctor Strange? None of that. There was no baggage. You went in. It was like watching an old Spider-Man movie back in the early 2000s. Right. There was Spider-Man, there was Dr. Octopus, and that's all you had to worry about. And it was it felt like a real throwback to back in the day when I don't know, comic books movies were simpler.
Yeah, I think that went full circle on that. I was like, I wanted a shared universe. Now I'm like, all right, can we just get refocused instead of just always setting up the next movie?
Dial it back. Yeah, not everything has to be. Yeah, and then the fans get out of control with it. They're like, you do make something that's focused on this person. They're like, well, that's not realistic because technically Doctor Strange should have showed up. And where was Iron Man if they were in New York City or whatever? I'm like,
after the Avengers, it was like every solo movie was like, well, where were the Avengers doing this?
Right. Let it go. Let it be what it is. Let it be a fun time at the movies.
So in my lifespan, I went from dreaming of these movies to get made to now being like, please stop. Stop.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes.
All right. Well, man, I want to thank you so much for joining me and having this late reschedule.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's been a long time past due. And I know originally we were going to talk in September August, and we had to flip that. So you've been very flexible. I appreciate that.
That's okay.
So much. And I will appreciate you dropping my inbox and give me lighting tips and camera tips. I always will appreciate those. Those are always great. And obviously any horror books that you read, I'm going to push some Ronald Malfi on you. I'm sure there's going to be some horror books that
I've already got my Malfi picked out for next month.
We'll keep that a secret for you.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin your entire list here, but I'm anxious to see it because I'm reading one next week, and then I'm reading one again in October.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then I think I'm going to be done with Malfi for the year. But I am getting to talk to him in October, so that's going to be very exciting.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Which ones have you read already?
None.
Oh, you haven't read any? Okay.
No, that's why you sent me a list of I asked you for recommendations, and you sent me a whole list to break down and whatnot. Right. And then I went to the bookstore, like a Barnes and Noble, and I just was picking them up, and all I did was read the back flap, pick the next one up, read the back flap, and just which one grabbed me, the most. There were a couple of them. There were 3 that grabbed me: Black Mouth, Bone White, and another one. I forget what it was.
Small Town Horror.
Something like, I think so. Was that the one where the girlfriend goes missing? And he has to go find her and do an investigation or something. I can't remember.
I don't know. I've read like 9 Ronald Malfi books this year.
And I just stood there, and I think I've figured out. I shouldn't say I think. I know which one I'm going with, and it's not Black Mouth. So
okay, all right. Well, I'm excited to see this.
I was
excited to see what you think about Misery, because Misery is one of the greatest, and I can't wait to see what you think about that. Andy Wilkes will be haunting your dreams, man. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll have a great weekend. And
all right, you too.
Before we do this, where can everybody find you? Are you on the socials at all?
No, I'm not. I have an Instagram for Rammel Broadcasting that I think I've put up 2 pictures for. I have a Twitter that I've created for Rammel Broadcasting that I tweeted once, and I never used it again. So really, there is nowhere to find me other than right here on YouTube. This is why
you're so sane. You don't do all the other social stuff that'll make you more.
I have literally nothing. Other than my one channel, it is Rammel Broadcasting. You can find me right here on the YouTube.
All right. Well, all you guys go over, subscribe to his channel, especially if you are a big horror fan. But he does a little bit of everything. And I hopefully someday I can stop boxing myself in because I named myself Mike's Book Reviews. And I should just call myself Mike's Book and Media Reviews or something. That's what I should do.
Something.
I don't know. We will figure that out one day. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. And guys, talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.